genuinely free society
cannot be a spectator society.
Freedom, in its deepest sense, requires
participation.
Full, zestful, knowledgeable participation.
The White House Fellowship lives at the intersection of leadership and public service. John Gardner was an advisor to many presidents, and he came up with this idea of the White House Fellows Program. The vision for what it was and what it could be is as relevant today as it was when Johnson and Gardner thought it up 50 years ago. The program is essential to helping create leaders who can go back to their communities, who can demonstrate that you can make a difference.
Being a nurse and working in a profession where most of the professionals are still all female, it's easy to change a country when you can rally around the largest healthcare professional group in the world to make those differences. I have been the Women's and Children's Program Director in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I have worked for like 4 governors. I was quite young. I was like 32, 33. After the White House Fellowship, I just took it to the world. When I was a White House Fellow, I was with Secretary Donna Shalala. I'm the head of the Leadership for Change program. It's a movement where we go into countries and work with the ministries of health, the chief nurse, the chief medical officer, the head of human resources, so that we can help them enhance their knowledge, skills, and ability. And when you think about all the countries I've done the Leadership for Change program with, more than 80 now, Lesotho, Uganda, Tanzania, Botswana. South Africa has one of the best Leadership for Change programs in the world. They have their own center and everything.
South Africa was very much affected by HIV, with over 24% of prevalence in the population. And the health system post-apartheid was divided. Dr. Stephanie Ferguson was then the first to come to the country and train nurse leaders. And these leaders are participating in the implementation of the health priorities in South Africa.
And so I think that's the beauty of the White House Fellows Program. John Gardner had it right. We can take it and really be the champions, not only in our own country, but for the world to make whatever that change is as a public servant.
The percentage of White House Fellows who serve on nonprofit boards is about 65%.
30%.
I would guess 50%.
40%.
70%.
The percentage of White House Fellows who serve on nonprofit boards is... Oh!
John Gardner had developed the idea of the White House Fellows Program before anyone contacted him from the White House. So when one of President Johnson's aides came to him and discussed the concern the president had about the quality of leadership that existed at that point, John Gardner had a solution, and LBJ loved it.
Your army of excellence.
The purpose of the White House Fellows Program, from John Gardner's viewpoint, was to take a cadre of highly talented individuals and expose them to the federal government and its operations early in their careers, have them contribute, but also then go out and lead elsewhere.
I'm a big believer that corporate America has an incredibly important role to play in the success of not only our country, but in the success of our communities. While at Univision, one of the many initiatives that we pushed was the importance for Latinos to have their voices heard.
Libera tu voz.
Regístrate. Ya es hora. We have a community of immigrants, a community of sons and daughters of immigrants who want to be part of the American dream and are contributing to that dream. And so regardless of who they vote for, regardless of what they believe in, the important piece is that they participate in that civic responsibility. My assignment at the White House Fellowship, I was at the Department of State under then Secretary of State Colin Powell.
Not a bad place to be.
Not too shabby. Someone up there was looking out for me. General Powell was incredibly generous with his time and his words. To see the commitment to our country was not only inspiring, but I think it also taught me the lesson that public service is a way of life.
If I had to guess the number of White House fellows who have held presidential appointments that require Senate approval, I would guess 54.
I would say it is 45.
44.
32.
I would say 50.
I would say about 47.
Wow!
VX-23's Green Hornet.
I happened to be in a position where I got asked to work on a plan for energy for the United States Navy, which led to a plan for greening the Navy, because greening the Navy helps us become a more sustainable Navy. To demonstrate a great green fleet, we have hybrid electric drives that we are putting on destroyers that will allow us to be able to operate, just like a hybrid car can, and be able to save tremendous amounts of fuel, 4,000 barrels per ship per year, which extends our range. That's combat capability. We've flown a F-18 on biofuel, the Green Hornet, as we called it. We really needed to be able to positively disrupt the future, to be able to take our energy security to a new place. I was a fellow in 1994 through 95 and was assigned as a White House Fellow to Alice Rivlin at the Office of Management and Budget. My project was to look at the environmental restoration of federal land. And I kind of thought, environmental? What does a surface warfare officer from the Navy know about environmental things? I can spell it, that's about it. But I said, I'm willing to take on something new that I don't know anything about. It's exciting, I'll learn a lot. So I think it does change trajectories, but trajectories, if you always try to maintain what the fellowship is about in mind, that it is about public service, it is about the giving back. Every year I help coordinate with the fleet staffs as well as the Navy staff to make sure that we are able to get the class of White House Fellows out to visit carrier. And I think it's a pretty eye-opening experience. As alumni of the White House Fellows, we all have a clear recognition that we probably would not be in the places we are if it weren't for that fellowship. And with that comes a lot of obligation to be able to ensure that those that do follow are able to achieve their potential and to unleash the capabilities and talents that they have.
If I had to guess how many White House Fellows or university presidents or college deans, I would guess 12.
I would say there are 10.
I would guess 15.
Probably about 25.
I'd say there are 29.
Out of 700 or so people, I'd say there are about 25.
I'd say probably maybe 20 or so.
8.
I would say 12.
Are you sure about that answer?
I am not sure about that answer. Do I get a lifeline? Do I get a lifeline? That's what I need to know.